everybody, and thank you very much for your time today. And today I'm coming to you from Dillon, South Carolina.
Dillon, 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 and Dillon.
Yes. Alright guys, I am coming to you from a almost abandoned strip mall right near downtown Dillon and also very close to south of the border. Hey, oh, there is a phone booth. Yes, we have some abandoned gold, but of course no phone, just a booth. Yes, we have square lighting in the parking lot from back in the day. Whoo, we are on fire at this episode. Guys, get ready to see some amazing stuff. You're going to see mold. You're going to see disgustingness. And you're going to see dead strip mall. So let's go ahead and walk forward and see what's going on here. Right off the bat, obviously the little phone booth here. Very cool. Would love to take that home, but we do not steal here on this channel, and neither do you. And look at that. We have what I believe is an old Winn Dixie. Yes, we can get the best quality meats possible at Winn Dixie, but not right now, unfortunately, at this location. Oh, also, we have fresh produce available. So please keep in mind that Winn Dixie actually left North Carolina several years ago. I don't know the date, but I do want to give a shout out to Wally B 26. This video I actually had filmed, I don't know, probably maybe 2 months ago, and I forgot about it, but Wally sparked my memory because he had a video from an abandoned Winn Dixie in Eden, South Carolina, which was really cool. And I was like, wait a second, I've got another Winn Dixie in my backlog. Let me go ahead and get that on there. So as we see Mother Nature taking the area back over, all the tiles are falling out of the ceiling. We've got lots of rust. We've got food stamp benefits. We've got no trespassing. And of course, we are not entering the property. Now, a cool thing about this property actually is that there is kind of like a little mini flea market that is set up in the parking lot. So it's kind of cool for people to come by and be able to purchase some items at a reduced price. And it seemed like the people that had set up, they had a big trailer, they had some tables out. It looks like they were nice folks, and a lot of people were stopping by and buying some stuff. And also at the very beginning of this strip mall, there is a rent-a-center. So I cannot truly call this a 100% abandoned property, but I will definitely say that it is rotting away and most likely not salvageable. So it probably will have to be demolished at some point. Now, I think this property is listed for sale. I did see it on LoopNet, so if you are interested in learning more, certainly search for this property. This is on Route 301, US 301. Ooh, there we see. Ooh, what do we got? Oh, 50 cents off. We got some beech nut there. Of course, we ID food, dairy, cheese, cheese tax, cheese tax. You must pay the cheese tax. Well, I have to pay the cheese tax to the dogs, and in fact, one of them is here in the office as I'm doing this voiceover. I'm actually surprised that she's not barking and flipping out. And as we continue to take a look around here, what we're going to do is we're going to head off to the store that is in between the Winn Dixie and also the Rent-A-Center. Now, this location you are about to see is kind of weird. I was wondering why they covered it with corrugated steel or corrugated aluminum. I assume the windows have already been blown out. But guys, look at this. The entire back of whatever store this was, and maybe this was also part of Winn Dixie, by the way, is totally caved in. So just to the left of that wall that you see on the video here is the Rent-A-Center. So most likely that Rent-A-Center is probably smelling some mold on a daily basis. Now, Dillon is a little bit of a economically depressed area. I'm not meaning to put it down. Very good people here in Dillon. Love south of the border. Also got some great videos out of Dillon, so really appreciate it. But this strip mall was probably very busy back in the day. But South Carolina, excuse me, has a lot of towns like this throughout the state that really were booming back in the day and have really hit hard times over the last few decades. Now, that I really dig. I love that spotted, like splattered brick. I just had to touch it. And we're going to now walk back towards the Winn Dixie. A lot of decay, a lot of rot coming down. Obviously, the ceiling is totally shot and the roof is totally shot in this building. As we continue to walk back, you'll see that there were some steel posts, possibly for maybe carts or something else at the Winn Dixie. Now, as we go past the telephone booth in a few moments, or the telephone stand, that location all the way to the end, I know was a Maxway at some point. So for those of you that don't know, Maxway is another version of Roses. I think it's within the Roses family, and actually I did a abandoned property that used to be a Piggly Wiggly, I think, in Walterboro. So guys, correct me. You probably know my library better than I do. So it was a Piggly Wiggly, and then it became a Maxway. So this is, I believe, the Maxway. It has all of the, I don't know if they are asbestos, but I assume they are. All of those linoleum asbestos tiles are all curled up, so probably a remediation issue there if this property does get purchased or rehabbed in some manner. Now, they might not be asbestos tiles, so my apologies if they are, but I do know that sometimes a lot of those 12 by 12 older tiles from the 60s or 70s are most likely made of asbestos. And this property, if you look on LoopNet, says that it was built in 2000. I find that very hard to believe. I really think that this is probably a property from the 70s or maybe the 80s, and the front really doesn't look that bad, but when we go to the back in a few moments, you're going to see that it definitely is an older property. So this might have been the Maxway. So I'm not sure if the Maxway was two parts. I'm not sure if the Winn Dixie extended a little bit further, but as you see here where the gondolas were and where all the, not carts, excuse me, or where all of the shelves were, you see all of the dirtiness. So this has basically been sitting here ever since. You see the exit sticker there, and certainly no soliciting. Please do not come to the property and try and sell your horrible, filthy goods in this location. And I think that right there is an old school Maxway entrance sign. I still have never gone to Maxway, by the way. There is one in North Charleston, and I definitely will check it out. I'm very curious to see what it looks like, and if it's really like Roses, or if it's kind of like a Roses light, or if it's a grocery version of Roses. Now, this part of the structure doesn't look that bad. We're going to go ahead and walk past the grasses. Well, it doesn't look that bad, minus the flooring tile. And we are going to see that there's not much going on in the grass area, but do not leave the video because we are going to check out the back of the property in a few moments. Now, the parking lot is a bit of a mess. It is all crocodiled, if you like to call it that, all busted up a little bit. But let's go ahead and head to the back of the property. All right, let's take a look in the back. So this would be the Maxway off to the left. We see the old school satellite dishes. We see a bit of the overhangs. We see one of the shipping areas, possibly for what was the old Winn Dixie. And as we start to walk forward here, we see the concrete's all cracked up. Really, really going to need a lot of rehab or demolition at this property, unfortunately. It looks like the overhang there in the entrance area for maybe the receiving is falling over a little bit. And I'm going to walk down a little bit further here, but I didn't go too far. I didn't want anybody from the Rent-A-Center location kind of freaking out, like, what are you doing in the back here? Now, this is literally in the middle of a field. This property, and there you see another area that was blocked over. So I'm curious, maybe that was another shipping area for that second store that is next to Rent-A-Center. And as we move a little bit further here, that is where Rent-A-Center is, where the block building kind of bumps out there. So guys, thank you very much for your time. I hope you had fun with me on this visit, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.